How long gone? I said chill. It's Chris Black. I am
Hey, chill, man. Take it easy.
I'm looking at woods, which is nice. I'm staring out a window right now.
You talking about the woods?
The woods, my court. Yeah, not backwoods. Well, technically they are woods in the back of a house. So I guess maybe that could be confusing.
Literal definition.
So I'm sitting at a window. I'm looking out. My cortisol levels are just depleted. Low. I took a dip in the pool, so I'm feeling fairly good after a couple of tumultuous days. How's them jeans?
Just another gloomy morning here in Glendale. It'll heat up soon. I'm glad that because you were really knocked around all over different Midwestern cities for last week. So I'm glad you were able to drive the 1500 Denali King Cab Sierra Trail Foreman load electric vehicle back to your cabin. Even though we had some troubles with some appliances, it's fine. We got through it, and now you're able to have a swim and look at nature. Do you believe that your cortisol levels are actually going down, or are you just making fun of big cortisol?
I'm making fun of big cortisol. Alex brings up cortisol a lot, and I think it's all because of Instagram. Like, no one knew what that was 5 years ago. No one was talking about cortisol levels until some of these Instagram ads started hitting our feeds.
Huberman and his colleagues in the medical field, they knew about it. But
yeah, his colleagues in the medical field definitely did know about it.
That's true. Know. I won't argue with you that Instagram and TikTok may be responsible for the spike in sales of cortisol pills. And, when we can just do it for free by going outside and sunning your pussy and dick in the morning light when it's horizontal. Ever get hit from the side?
How hard is it by the sun?
In the morning?
Have you ever gotten hit from the side in the morning by the sun? I don't know if I have, but there's something to think about. I got to get these levels even lower if possible. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, when you wake up and the sun is coming up over those hilly horizons, over your grow garden, I'm sure there's like some produce being grown over there, right?
It's literally a farm that Flynn is involved with, and that's why we're at this house, because he's...
Are there animals?
Oh yeah, there's hella sheep. I've seen groups of deers, turkeys, some rabbits. Yeah, but there's all kinds of shit on the grounds.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so you go out there, you've got your cup of pour over coffee. And do you ever just sit there and just let the horizontal sun bake you for 10 minutes and get your spikes unspiked? Maybe we're shoeless in the grass?
I do love being shoeless and literally touching grass, but no, I do not do that, because the morning is a time when I more am on the internet with my chameleon that I brought from Manhattan. But I'm working towards what you're describing.
Well, you can do both, you only need 10 minutes.
That's true. No, that's true. You're right. I can center myself. Maybe tomorrow I'll give that a shot. Now that the week's winding down because of the holiday weekend.
Oh, yeah, Labor Day.
Labor Day. I sent you and Cho this.
And happy birthday, David Cho.
Happy birthday, David Cho, the prince of How Long Gone, our Korean correspondent. So I was reading Casey Lewis's always great after-school newsletter, and she posted about the top trending "Why Do Millennials" searches. And,
yes.
Number 1 is stick their tongue out in photos. Number 2 is dread having babies. Number 3, need subtitles. Number 4, hate making phone calls. Number 5, though, is what had me had my wig pushed back, if you will. Keep boxes. So I don't really know. Does that mean, or is that like a thing where I don't understand, where millennials all collected Jordans and have to keep them in the box? Or is this like you keep boxes for your cat or your child to play with? I don't know. What do you have any insight on this? Because I haven't heard about this trend.
I can stick this hog from a couple angles. I want to know.
I can hit this from the side. It's no problem.
We've been hogging before. Is this a situation where these are? I mean, does it say or specify the trending searches? Is this like younger people who are wondering about their older millennials, or is this older people wondering about younger millennials? I mean, because I to me, I feel like pretty much every one of these traits, aside from box keeping, I think Gen X, Gen Z, and millennials.
Quickly, do you think box keeping is a good name for our wax up startup, or do you think that that's not? It's a little too far.
Our what startup?
Our waxing startup.
I forgot that we had a waxing startup.
It's something. Well, I mean, I understand. We have so many prongs. We have so many irons.
I guess
fire.
that is the gentlemanly way to ask, because it used to be like, do the curtains match the drapes? Shaved or unshaven. But then, imagine, an old dignified diplomatic British man asking, "How is your box kept? Is your box kept well?" And you say, "Yes, I have good vaginal health, sir."
I'm sorry to bring us down to that level. I apologize. Please continue with your box breakdown.
A rare slog through the mud from Chris Black. He don't often go blue, but when he does, it stings.
I've been listening to Joe Budden too much because all this travel, and they say box too much, and it's seeping into my already.
Do they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Distorting my reality.
But yeah, I would say you could take this top trending "Why do millennials" and you could replace "Why do Gen Z," and it would be the same thing, because I feel like younger people than us dread having babies more than us, need subtitles. I mean, I went through my entire life without subtitles until now. I don't know what that is. And I think people have been sticking out their tongue in photos forever. I don't know. That's a thing that only happened
the beginning of time
in 2012 or something. I don't know. And then I feel like older millennial people are much more prone to telephone conversation than
I prefer. I'm happy to talk on the phone. Like, I'm happy to roll some calls walking around the grass. I don't. That feels. I agree with you. That feels more Gen Z allergy than millennial allergy. But
yeah, I mean, I think as time goes on,
the data is the data. You know what I'm saying, Jason?
The data is there, and which is why I want to know, what perspective this, who is actually typing this query into their Google, because I'm not getting enough info. I think the box keeping. Us elder millennials are the last generation who's able to buy things. So we need boxes to keep all of our cool stuff in. Everyone younger than us is, struggling to just
they can't
pay rent and put food on the table. So they don't really have time or space or money to put things in boxes or even buy boxes. I'm sure the Container Store is really taking a hit, even though young people seem to have an OCD-like tendency, or, the monkey mind of, I have to put this inside of this box or else I'm going to cry.
They do cry a lot.
Seems like a younger person trait, right?
It seems like a younger person trait. It seems
my
like.
special son is going to slide tackle my mom if we don't put all the right cereal in the right boxes.
Well, that's a Kardashian. I think that I just read in Pop Bitch, my favorite OG newsletter, about how Meghan Markle makes her staff separate all of her jars by 2 centimeters, and if it's not done properly, they have to pull out a ruler so that all of her jars of supplies are 2 centimeters apart, which is another level of psychosis.
Well, I want to know what the consequences are. Is it a 3 strikes you're out kind of thing?
They refer to it.
Am I being hit with a ruler or a yardstick? Hopefully, it's a yardstick.
They refer to it as, which I love, a Montecito meltdown, which is Megan's Montecito meltdowns, which apparently come often and swift. When the trigger is pulled.
That's what the money's for, when they're hitting you,
Of course, yeah. If you pay me a couple extra $1,000, I'll take a little slap from a meter, from a
hit
ruler.
Me with some of those Merlot vines. I don't care. It's good for my skin. Exfoliate.
This reminds me though of something I saw earlier, where
it's lymphatic.
The Substack platform calls their highest performing newsletters best sellers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a stickler about language, Jason. I don't get caught up on stuff like this, and we could talk to today's guest about it. But doesn't that feel a little bit disrespectful to authors? I don't. Can a newsletter be a bestseller? Isn't it more of a most subscribed to? Is the term that we would want to use?
Yeah. I mean, because are we? Is a subscription the same thing as a sale? Maybe it is, I guess, but it does feel wrong, and you would think, or you would hope, that Substack would create a new, they would use all of those big brains over there to create a new cool phrase.
Do we think it's going to start being like people are referred to as Substack bestseller? The way that you're a New York Times bestseller? Because that would be fucking crazy. But I could see it happening.
I could see it happening, and I think to be fair, I can't think of a better name than it right now. So I could see how the roundtable discussion would land on that.
Same. I'm not. I totally get how.
I will personally task myself to come up with a better title for that, and I will use Figma to create a cool infographic button.
This is good.
That they're able to seamlessly embed into their for sale newsletter.
I just don't know if it's like, artists don't get to say Billboard bestseller or number one album. You have to say like most streamed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's a clear difference between the two, which are both accomplishments. And the same thing with Substack. If you're making that much bread, God bless. I just think the terminology needs to reflect.
Yeah, I guess they do say the Spotify charts instead of the Billboard charts. And nowadays, what does Billboard charts even mean,
And, yeah, but I'm saying those are different brands in the same way Substack and New York Times are different brands. Anyway, we could do this forever. We have a guest today.
We have a guest today. Before, really quick, you mentioned Kim Kardashian. I saw a good tweet, the photos where Kim and Northie is kind of going avatar mode. She's going C-punk right now. And I saw a good tweet. I forgot who said it, but it said, you can just tell she hits Kim.
It's true, though. She definitely hits.
Yeah.
And she might bite, too. Just with because
she hits, she bites.
She's going through her My Chem phase. All right, we have a guest today.
She got that from her daddy.
Alexis Okeowo is a writer at The New Yorker, but she also has a brand new book, Blessings and Disasters: A Story of Alabama. This is her second book, I believe. But let's get into it with her. She's here. She's ready to fucking rock.
Okay, so last name pronounced Okeowo?
Exactly, yeah.
Chris, you got there. You got close. We'll give you a 75 out of 100.
The problem is when something like this happens to me, this happens to us relatively often. I'm like, all right, before we talk to Alexis, I'm going to go on YouTube.
We get a Nigerian podcaster on.
Yeah, exactly. We just asked, I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to watch a talk and hear someone else pronounce the name.
Yeah,
and this happens, obviously.
Of
You've had
course.
this name your whole life. So you sent us a prompt earlier just being like, hey, white boys, this is kind of how you say that. And I want to say that we appreciate that, and it's something that we want to get right.
Yeah.
And you really worded it in a very not passive aggressive way at all.
It's true.
Which was just like, people often ask about my pronunciation, by the way, versus like, people often fuck my name up. So here's how you say it. And so you don't have to ask,
Listen, that was the Southern polite way of saying it.
It was. No, it was. I agree. I didn't read into that as passive aggressive the way that Jason did, but I also.
You are an Alabamian.
Listen.
At the end of the day.
Jason are both blessed with names that you cannot mispronounce. So it's like we've never gone through that struggle.
Right.
But how are you, Alexis? All is well? Where are you coming from? Is this from your home?
I'm good. I'm in London right now.
Bruv, what's the occasion then?
Who's flat? What's his name?
I had a wedding. And you said, what's his name? Is that what you said?
Who's flat? What's his name?
Stop the trolley.
That's over.
That's over? That's actually ended. I've moved to a hotel, so that's where I'm coming to you from now.
Okay.
All right, so you're in London.
We're not speaking about him anymore, but I was here for a wedding and then on holiday. But, I was actually living here for a couple of years, and I just moved back to New York this summer.
Okay. Congratulations.
How are you feeling about it?
I feel good because I've been kind of floating for the last couple of years. I've been in sublets, and I decided I need to sort of be back in New York. I have a mortgage now.
Oh, we're like, okay, so we're permanent in New York. We said we're putting down roots.
She said book deal.
Okay. Okay, so you're saying that all right, so London was it not right for you, or do you just feel like you need to be in New York for work purposes and closer to family, et cetera, et cetera?
Exactly. Those things. Being closer to family. I have a little brother who lives there, being next to family, friends, and it's better for work. I mean, London's a bit slow.
I look, I love it. I would live there except for the weather. I've learned to like the food. But I do think that it is a different pace, even though it is similar to New York in a lot of ways.
You don't do a lot of 2 p.m. beer drinking on weekdays, Alexis?
I tried. I did try, and I realized I can't keep up.
Okay, when you go to a pub, what kind of beer are you getting pulled, or is it more of a cocktail?
Yeah, I actually was at the pub today because you do as locals do, and I had a glass of orange wine. I'm kind of bougie at the pub.
You had okay,
Ooh,
so
the King's Orange, got it.
the fellas see you order an orange wine, they turn right around at the pub. That is like, oh, she's not.
Yeah,
down to
orange
earth.
wine in 2025, August 2025 feels a little performative even for you, Alexis. What's up with that?
Wow. Okay. No, but it doesn't have the same rep here.
That's
They're
true.
A little bit
That's true.
behind.
That's true. It's still new, unless you're over at Noble Rot. It's a different. It's still a new concept.
To me personally, I don't think London is behind in the wine world. The internet's really brought it all together, but you can feel however you want to feel about them.
Wow. Wow. I love your defense of this city. Now I'm gonna get shit.
I don't. All right, where was the wedding? Was it in the countryside? Was it in the city?
No, it was in the city. Actually, it was really cute. They had the ceremony and then they had a rave with like the party part.
Okay. When you say rave, were they handing out
Wait,
ketamine?
I'm going to Charlie's wedding next week. You telling me this already fucking happened?
What wedding? Who is this person, and are they in the electronic music field?
They're a big fan.
Okay.
They were actually the first person to take me to raves in London. And so it was very fitting that he and his wife decided to sort of have a rave as their wedding party.
How I want to just drill down here a little bit on the term rave and how you're using it.
Well, what was the scale of this rave?
Yeah.
What Soundboy Collective brought in the speakers?
Yes,
Name some of the
speakers, a
DJs,
sort of
lighting,
warehouse-
fog, pyrotechnics.
Yes.
Oh, it was a warehouse vibe.
A warehouse vibe. They hired a DJ. We're doing a little psychedelics. We're dancing.
Okay,
sounds great.
We're doing a little psychedelics.
You already know we're doing a little psychedelics.
Alexis, let's use your Princeton words a little bit. Let's get hammered down on some more specifics here.
Yeah, you're being a little too vague for our liking.
Are you talking about LSD, mushrooms, ketamine?
No, just a little Molly.
A little Molly.
Just
okay.
just a little Molly, you said.
Mhm.
Good. This sounds like a fun. So, how many people do you think were at the private post-wedding rave?
I would say it was about like 50 to 100.
Okay, that's a nice intimate amount without being too
Yeah.
small where it feels like a house party.
Okay.
Exactly.
Wow, that's okay. So, what time did you leave the rave?
Okay, the problem was that I landed in London the day of the wedding, so I was a bit jet lagged.
Mm.
So I left at like a respectable 1.
Okay.
That's very respectable. And
Right?
some would say that exit time could sort of make it less of a rave. I don't want to say, it feels
Fine for America, but in London, it is a little early. But the jet lag is going. It's against you.
yeah.
What when you got back home at 1:20, what did you watch on TV to hopefully finally fall asleep?
Wind down.
Wind down.
Listen, I have a softness for reality TV.
I knew you were my kind of chick. I knew it.
I've been rewatching The Real Housewives of New York, the OGs. I find it very soothing.
Oh, you're the OG, because it's bad now.
Yeah.
It's bad now. Even though I think that there's some highlights. We recently, I saw them all out to eat together without cameras, the new cast,
Oh.
and I was like, these lying bitches, like they're all hanging out together, having fun with no cameras around. You've been lying to me for the last 2 seasons.
Of course.
I'm sorry that you had to learn that this dramatized, Chris.
Who's your favorite character from the OG? Sonia?
Yeah, and I love Luann.
I mean, the Countess is one of the greats of all time as far as this franchise goes. But
Exactly.
I mean, it's tough. But I'm an OC original truther. If I had to, I love a Tamra after a lot of work, but I'm happy that are you a rewatcher often, or is this just with the certain franchises?
No, just certain franchises. Yeah. I mean, I have done it with Southern Charm. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my God, stop. My heart's going to come out of my
Listen, I
chest.
love Shep. I love Shep. I saw him in person in New York a
Can
couple
I
years
can I
back.
ask a question? Because
Uh-huh.
this is a theory I've worked out many times. Would you risk it all for Shep? Because every woman, no matter what their relationship status, where their political leanings are, where they're from, it's a cross-generational.
And we've also podcasted with and hung out with Shep, and he will confirm that everyone is willing to risk it all for him.
What do you think it is about Shep besides
for a slice of shepherd's pie?
Besides the fact that you're Southern, so I feel like you get that kind of guy, But
Yes,
is there
absolutely.
something about him that makes it more alluring?
It is, because he's like a good old boy, but he's like he's charming. He's kind of sweet.
That's right. He would have sex with your best friend, but he would be nice about it.
Exactly. You would forgive him eventually.
Yeah, that's exactly what people say. They're like, he's not going to call you. But he's going to be nice while it's happening, and it's going to be pleasant.
He'll keep his opinions about your weight to himself.
But he's, his thing on the show and his thing in real life is that he's like relatively well read, which is always like this fun surprise. And he's like into history and shit. So he'll reference something that I'm like, I'm vaguely familiar with this from like high school, but clearly.
So Alexis, she's like, I was already in, but now.
I'm like, he reads?
Yeah. Oh shit. That's
for listeners
bonus.
at home, she just moved her hair behind one of her ears after Chris told.
She texted her publicist, we need to get Shep a copy ASAP. ASAP. I'm glad that is a good wind down show though. So I think that
especially when you're homesick.
I don't do rewatches, but people I don't think I've ever seen a movie twice. I try not to see a show twice. I just don't understand that.
Definitely never read a book twice.
I've read a book twice, but it was because it was like, high school. It's like so long ago I couldn't even begin to remember.
Yeah.
But I don't. What does it? Is it comfort?
Let's run Lolita back.
Yeah, I run. Oh, Lolita, I do quarterly. But that's different. That's
Speaking of the blueprint,
but does it make you? Is it comforting?
It is comforting, and also it's so long ago that I've forgotten some plot points. So then when I see it, I'm reminded, and it feels good. I'm like, yeah, you bitches.
Yeah, it's really nice of you to call it plot points because that's really generous. Is what you're talking about.
Okay, so I did not have a chance to fully read the book, but I did some skimming. I did some poking around, have some broad thoughts. So grew up in Alabama, then to Princeton. Have any of the learned WASP tendencies that you picked up in Princeton carried over into your current life?
That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like there's the thing I learned most from Princeton was like a sense of entitlement, just very valuable.
You never give that up, baby. Never give that up.
I have that already, but that's my birthright, so I didn't need to go to Ivy League for that.
Well, I think maybe if you're lacking, sorry for cutting you off, I'll let you finish. But if you might be lacking some of that, then having a sense of it that you pick up from that crowd and those people of entitlement could just net you out at zero and a healthy normal amount, not being too entitled. I'm not saying you're at a deficiency for entitlement, but
no,
many of us are.
It also let me know what the signifiers in sort of East Coast culture are. Like I read about growing up in the South, and there are all these certain symbols of status in the South that are completely different when I went to Princeton. It's like fancy. You can have a summer at the lake, or you drive a certain kind of truck, or and then I get there and it's like, oh, this is real money. And the status signifiers are so different.
The boats are a little bigger. The boats are less pontoon.
Lake boat versus ocean boat.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think I had that crash course when I moved to New York as well, because I think I sort of knew or thought I knew, and then you encounter it in a real way. You're like, oh, no, this is different.
Exactly. I went to, in my class, Oliver Stone's son was in my class, and there was a couple years below me, a descendant of, I don't know, Rockefeller, somebody. And I was like, oh, okay. y'all got real money. It
Yeah,
was
that's different. It
Yeah,
ain't my dad's in construction.
exactly.
It's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, but I think there's a real renaissance, or people are loving the idea of in the near future, as all of our coding jobs that we thought were going to be the only way out are starting to fizzle out. I think having the dad who has the modest $20 million roofing industry or HVAC repair company, that has become much more coveted than, being like a tech
Yeah.
guru person, because it's not such a fleeting thing that could change on a dime,
No,
And it's also real Republican,
Yeah,
ain't
that's
no
right.
queer work,
Yeah,
ain't no nerd stuff.
real America.
Real America. I don't know. So did you feel like you were really out of sorts, or did you kind of just get in step
No,
upon arrival?
no, I felt out of sorts, which was crazy because everyone was like, "Oh, Princeton's the most conservative, preppy of all the schools up north." And then I get there, and it's like, yeah, they dress preppy, but no one's really like, no one's not that I'm conservative, but no one was conservative. No one's like of that mindset. And when I told everyone where I was from, they were like, looked at me like I was from outer space. And I was like, y'all haven't ever
Well,
been, what? Excuse me?
Yeah, if I'm from Rhode Island, Montgomery is outer space. I think that's a fair. I don't think that's that crazy.
They know about Alabama and they've heard of it, but
Yeah.
How upset was your family and your kind of school teachers that you didn't go to University of Alabama? Because
Oh.
they need people like you,
Extremely. And I was supposed to go, but in the end, I couldn't do it. But yeah, I was like one of 3 people in my high school who left, and I wondered for a while if it was a mistake.
I mean, I don't think anyone from my high school made it to an Ivy League college in the history of the school. So you're doing better. You're doing better than my graduating class.
do you feel like it was less of a mistake now that
Oh, yeah.
the time has passed?
Yeah, totally.
What do you think the chances are, percentage-wise, that at some point you will stack your bands, make all of your money, do your TED Talks and your book tours, and then eventually retire back home in Alabama?
Oh, I love this manifestation of bands to stack. Yeah,
I mean, you said mortgage. We talked to a lot of writers that live in a damn cardboard
Yeah,
box.
they don't have a mortgage unless I didn't.
Their ass on Scheinman and Schuster.
Yeah, they're buying. Yeah, they're in Bushwick, 4-bedroom, and they share it. It's different. It's very different.
well, I thought mortgage is the working man's. The rich people buy it all cash.
Okay.
Everyday
This is a
people
great way.
have a
This is a
mortgage.
great. Me, I'm working class. I have 4 properties, but I have to pay
What an
mortgages on
angle.
all of them.
What an
This
angle.
That's really good. I'm using that. Yeah, I could see you making it back down to Alabama. Maybe you're a professor, at one of the esteemed
Yeah.
universities.
I would love to have a country house, like just out in the country, lots of green, maybe by a brook, stream.
And Alabama, that's a lot cheaper than Connecticut. So this is something you
Exactly.
could. This is a real
Connecticut's
matter,
already
but
cheap.
you have to fly there. So I guess that's like, that adds to it.
And then connect in Atlanta.
How
on
many?
Delta.
Yeah, how much time did you spend in my hometown of Atlanta growing up?
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, Atlanta was like our New York City growing up,
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
especially to Black folks. That was like,
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Black Hollywood, as they say.
exactly. So I loved it. Whenever we would drive in for the weekend, I was like, oh my God, it's so big, the highways.
So you would go like as a family, or you're
Yeah.
saying like in high school, you and the girlies would get in the car to go turn up?
Well, both. Yeah.
Okay, both. I like
Yeah.
that. So were you sneaking into Atlanta nightclubs as an underage student?
We try. I mean, the problem is we all looked really young.
I did my best.
A curse that still curses you to this day.
Yeah, I was gonna say you look 24. So
Yeah.
I would card
Yeah.
you before entering the hookah bar.
If you
Exactly. So we would go to the mall. We would do what we did in Alabama. We go to the mall, hang out. In Alabama, we did everything in the mall. You go to the food court, you go to the movie theater, you go to the fast food place that also serves beer. It's like all in the mall. Then you hang out in the parking lot.
I look.
Okay.
I get it, but you're saying you would drive 4 hours or whatever to Atlanta to do the same thing.
2 hours.
Oh, it's 2. Okay, you would drive 2 hours for a nicer, different mall. Let's say.
Yes.
Well, in
Exactly.
Atlanta, there's different, cuter boys hanging out at the Bojangles than the ones that you've grown up seeing every damn day, right?
Not Chick-fil-A, not Bojangles.
Oh, okay.
But-
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that. Come on, Jason. We're talking about Atlanta, bro. This is Chick-fil-A is that's God's country. We don't step on that.
I've been thinking about giving Chick-fil-A a second chance. I've never understood it or enjoyed it, or I never got the all the fuss.
Alexis, what's your Chick-fil-A order?
Oh God. Okay, I have two. One is like the
What's your drunk order and what's your sober order?
sauce.
What's your real name? What's your stripper name?
You can give us your stud name if you want to.
Nuggets, fries, sauce.
Okay.
Wait, say that again. Nuggets, fries, what kind of sauce?
Polynesian.
Yeah, Polynesian. Okay.
Is that offensive? And then, or the chicken sandwich.
If you say so.
Chicken sandwich, pickles or no pickles?
No pickles. God, no.
Yeah, the pickles are a big part of it. I'm a pickle hater myself, but I always tell Jason that Chick-fil-A, the real appeal is the breakfast.
Oh, yes.
Eating a chicken biscuit feels pretty aggressive at 8 a.m. unless you're a
Oh,
fat Chris
God.
going to middle school, and then it's perfect. Then it's
Or anyone at an airport.
Yeah. Or when I visit my parents, my dad will go pick up chicken biscuits for the family.
I love that. See, that's good parenting right there. That's
It
good
is.
parenting right there. Do they still live in Montgomery?
They do. Yeah.
Okay, so do they think you're a freak, or are they proud of you?
They're proud. It's funny how Southern they've become. Like my dad wears camo.
Because you mean they immigrated, so it was like a full. They
Exactly.
fully just dove in.
Exactly. And I guess they came as college students. So after enough time, you kind of assimilate fully.
So your dad's wearing like roll tide sweatshirts and camo shorts, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Exactly. And then he's like, greedy. Yeah. Now, but I have camo too. So, yeah.
Have your parents picked up any American tendencies that you believe are positive? Like you're glad they've been inherited?
Yeah. What's positive? Yeah, I guess just, believing in freedom of choice, freedom of expression.
Mm-hmm.
They become so tolerant when, looking at people from different lifestyles and such.
Less sexist, even in Alabama.
Yeah, even in Alabama, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say that is my parents have evolved as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they credit me to some extent with exposure to things that I make sound very normal and cool that they have never, like they've never actually encountered maybe, but they've changed their feelings about it because of the way it's presented.
Because they read it on GQ.
Yeah,
I'm so proud of you, Chris.
Yeah, when I heard, yeah. My mom listens to the show, so she should not be proud of me. But I think that maybe some of the reading helps bring her back into the fold.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
she's so proud.
But now everyone in Alabama pretty much supports gay folks and all that. But when I was growing up, it was different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everywhere is I feel like most major cities, you can, if I'm in Montgomery, I can definitely go find a fucking boy genius barista living their best life. Like that's not out of the question for there.
Exactly. There are lots of they thems about.
I was in Kansas City. It was hella. I was like, wow, it's so interesting that those places that seem like the worst place to be if you're trying to do anything like that seems. I guess it's like. I guess it's good. I guess it's overall positive.
Yeah.
A theme in the book: forced closeness. Something that happens in the South: intimacy without equality. Does New York also have that?
That's interesting. Well, yeah, because my point is that in the South, the races have had to live more closely together than any other part. So for all the talk of like, oh my God, it's so racist in the South,
Yeah.
I feel like Black and white people do know each other better just because we interact more in a sense, as opposed to like a place in New York where allegedly the segregation is even worse, and you don't really have to interact, with people of other races. Socialize, work with them.
Yeah, people say that about Atlanta too. That it's like this very interesting, like everybody has to interact, and it's like kind of all good, know. At least outwardly, it's all good. And that's what I found, at least. I don't know. I'm sure everybody's experience is different, as they say, but forced closeness is real as hell. And it's like, I've used this example before, but it was really interesting during like COVID. At Lennox, the people that didn't give a fuck, that wanted to hang out, were Black people and rich white people, and they were at the mall and they were building, and it was all everybody was like, I ain't wearing a mask, I'm just shopping, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, damn, shit can bring people together.
Exactly.
The things that would surprise you.
So Dr. Fauci, after he created the novel coronavirus in Wuhan, he had one thing and one thing only on his mind: equality.
I think maybe this is a good spin for Fauci. Fauci's going to live another day because of the equality that he sort of forced upon us. It's nice.
Fauci said, "You're welcome."
Not wearing masks and Epstein brings us all together.
Honestly, those might be the two. Those really are two of the best things to bridge a gap.
I had to go to Atlanta during COVID to report a story, and I was wearing a mask, and people were looking at me like I was crazy. So I eventually did take it off. But
I eventually was like, you know what? Maybe this is stupid. I'm out of here with this shit.
You were peer pressured by the community.
What were you reporting in Atlanta?
well, what's so funny is I took it off. I was interviewing the then mayor of Atlanta, and it turned out that after the interview, she found out she had COVID. So she had exposed me. I luckily didn't get it, but I was just like, of course, the irony.
This wasn't a Zoom meeting.
No,
I'm
it was in
assuming this
person.
is in person.
Where did you do this interview?
We did it in her office.
Oh wow. Okay. So you were at ground zero.
Yeah.
But you did not get it. Your immune system was able to defeat the mayoral COVID.
Yeah.
Strong mayoral COVID.
It was great. I felt very proud.
I felt very proud.
Yeah.
I feel like was this during the period where like Atlanta was the world stage politically?
2020. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that was an interesting. People were asking me a lot of questions that I had no answers to. I'm like, bro, I don't fucking know. Like, I don't know. I mean, I know some of the ads were crazy. That's what my parents are talking about the most is like there was the guy running for mayor that I can't remember his name, who had the ad where he was insinuating that he was going to show his daughter's date a gun to like let her know.
I remember that.
Like what time it is. And I was like, damn, this is the most Georgia shit I have ever seen.
If you touch your girlfriend, I will kill you.
I loved it.
Is it true the kind of overarching theme of the book is that if we want to, we're able to sort of get a petri dish sample of America as a whole just by examining the state of Alabama, or maybe it's the perfect place to begin the discussion or the observation.
Yeah.
So it seems like that is true. My question is, could one say that most states fit that role, or what is specific about Alabama?
Well, Alabama
compared to other places.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it's where all the extremes have happened, because it was like the home place, the birth of the Confederacy, and also the home of the Civil Rights Movement. It's like the home of one of the homes of the far right political movement, and also repression against Latinos, but then a bunch of Latino immigrants have come in and revitalized rural areas. It's also the home of like this tiny Native American tribe that managed to stick around, and now they're all billionaires, casino billionaires. So it's like a lot of extreme bad and good things have resulted there from the American experiment, and you could sort of see it in a really obvious way. You can see all of these groups claiming Alabama as home. You know, even though we think of the South and Alabama is just like black and white, it's Native American, it's immigrant, Latino.
How do you think people view Alabama from the outside? Do they just think it's like redneck right-wing shit? Like no one's really thinking about what you're talking about, basically.
No, totally. And I could tell in the way people respond, because they'll ask me as if like, oh my God, you grew up in Alabama, as if I just escaped a fire hose in the street during a civil rights march.
Right.
And I'm like, guys,
it's all good. It's fine. They like football too much, but otherwise it was fine.
We have electricity and all kinds of stuff there. You got to come check it out.
I mean, I guess when the history of a place is, at least how it's viewed, is so bad, for most people that haven't thought about it again since they've learned about it, in high school or whatever, I see where they're coming from, even though they're wrong.
Exactly. And so this book is an effort to sort of bring us to the present and talk about the sort of like more little known, modern, interesting parts of this story state.
Yeah. I mean, this genre of book is interesting to me because I feel like there's a fine line between sort of memoir and history lesson that me personally, if it gets too history lesson, I'm out. I just don't care. But I think other people,
unless it's the history of something that you're interested in.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. It's like I think there's like I get why that needs to happen to give everyone context for why you had the experience that you had, and I think it's a very fine line to walk. But I also imagine that helps sell the book to the publisher a little bit, because it means a more mass audience can understand it.
Definitely. But when I'm working on it, I'm very aware of that. So I'm like, how do I keep this? I'm including what I need to include, but I'm keeping it as swift as possible. I'm like, this is technically a history of sorts, but like, how do we keep it moving?
Got to keep it moving. Look, to anyone listening, keep it moving. That's the greatest advice that you could ever receive in these. I mean, I just think that I get that it's necessary, and I know that that's part of it, and I know that I'm not always the intended audience, so I try to remember that. But I also know that, like, a book like this, if it could seem very, very specific and targeted without some of that stuff, as far from like a marketing standpoint.
Sure. But yeah, I'm like you. I like, let's keep it shorter if we can, and also just keep it moving. I don't want it to drag anywhere. I want it to, just keep it, because that's how I am as a reader. So I want to write what I like to read.
Yeah, I mean that's how we feel about this show as well. It's like, let's just keep it. There's no, you know what I mean. Yeah. It's like that's what people want it to move faster than they realize, I think.
Are you when you come to that realization, you read a chapter, it's not up to speed for you, or an editor says, this is the ugly duckling in the bunch. Is it easy for you to cut a chapter off, or is it more of a pained process for you? Or can you just take that chapter and be like, now we got a little New Yorker 1500 joint?
Yeah, I got a quota, so I got to hit that anyway. I don't really care where this goes, to be honest with you.
I am, when I'm editing, I can be pretty ruthless, because that's the fun part, when you can sort of hack and shape. Unless I feel like I've got some good lines, because when you've written some good lines.
I think it's more fun when you're editing, when you're hacking someone else's work, not just like, because when you wrote something at the time, you're like, by golly, I've done it again. And then 3 months later, you're like, psh, delete. Like that. I feel like that would hurt me a little bit.
It would hurt a little bit, but you also know where maybe your writing is shining in more places than other. Like if it's a place where I'm like, oh, I've got some good lines here, then let's see if we can save some of this.
Okay.
But if it's more sort of, like history or context that I feel like I've been repeating myself or it's not needed, I'm happy to let it go.
Yeah. Do you feel like it? Do you feel like it moves the same way? Like, I mean, like with TV seasons, for example, people will be like, well, those 3 episodes weren't good, but they had to happen for this to for the 5th episode to be amazing. Do you feel do you think that's a similar thing in a book? Can it work the same way?
Yeah. I mean, hopefully not 3 seasons. Hopefully just.
Sure. No, 3 episodes, 3 episodes. I'm saying, because it's like that. You always hear that where you're like, well, you got to get through the first 2 because it really delivers. It's worth it. I think books can have a similar.
They can. I mean, and then ideally, though, not the first episode, because you want to get them in that first episode.
Sure. But I guess what I'm saying is everything like this that goes on for, 12 episodes or 300 pages, there's going to be like an ebb and flow to it.
Absolutely.
Naturally.
But I think there's some people out there, I've noticed a little bit, where they like the long payoff. Like it's almost like a kink to be like, they didn't even introduce the main character until page 178. I'm about to nut, like that type of reaction.
Yeah, people like bad shit because they think it makes them seem smarter and cooler. That's a problem that we face.
I don't want to call it bad or good. I think it's just like some people like to edge more than not, and also like if it's still a pleasure to read this person's writing and you do love it, might as well make a meal out of it. Some people like a 4-hour tasting menu, and some people like nuggets in the drive-thru.
Exactly. No. I'm totally the latter. No, give me the nuggets.
I started a book recently that was the first 50 pages were I was so confused at who the characters were and sort of what their even relationship was that I was like, I felt dumb. I was like, am I not getting this? Am I stupid? And I'd actually ordered the large print version from Amazon, so it made me feel extra stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I'm laying by the pool being like, I look like I can't fucking see, and I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
I'm walking by, Grandpa's got the book upside down. My poor guy.
Yeah, it's like, But I think it was meant to, it felt like, as I got further into it, it did feel like a device to like sort of place you somewhere. But to me, it wasn't super successful as like from an entertainment perspective, I guess.
Totally.
You know?
It's risky.
Yeah, especially at a time where, the margins of success are so thin. We can't really afford to take those experimental swings and be like, all right, you made it to the 75th page. All right, those losers are all gone. Now we're gonna get into the real shit. How many? You said it's you don't have a problem cutting chapters or paragraphs or pages from your work. How many pages into a book that you're reading somebody else wrote do you go? Until you abandon reading, and do you have a ceremonial process of what you do with the spent book after you realize I ain't ever gonna read this motherfucker?
Yeah. I give it a couple chapters, and then I'll close it. I'll put it on the nightstand with the idea that I'll pick it up again. It's not picked up again, and then I put it in the bookcase and treat it as if I've already read it.
Nice. This is very smart. I like this a lot. I like that you mentioned that you closed it, because that is an important part of putting a book down, and I'm glad you didn't kind of glaze over that.
Okay. Well, in the intro, Chris and I were discussing. He read in a friend's newsletter the top 5 trending Google searches. Why do millennials do blank? And one of them was keep boxes. So I'm assuming you're some sort of millennial. Why do you have to then take this book that you know you're never going to read and put it on the shelf to sit there until you die? Why can't you just get rid of the book? Why do you have to put it in a box?
Well, I mean, but it helps the bookcase look good. It's like full of books. I mean, right?
You're filling out the case. You're like Oprah and Montecito. You've hired someone to kind of make you look smart. You got to fill the bookshelf up.
Okay, but I feel like you, as an author and an educated person who probably is very discerning with their tastes and knows that what books are being read says a lot about the Andy Warhol don't fuck somebody who doesn't have a shelf of books. What if all the books are books that you don't like and you couldn't even finish 2 chapters? Is that you don't care if it's a representation of your reading likes, or is it just like most of them are ones you like, so it's not a big deal?
Yeah. I mean, so this move I had to unpack a lot of boxes for my storage space, and I will say there were some I did get rid of that I didn't feel represented me in my taste in the best way. But mostly, I mean, even if I don't finish it, I feel like I admire the effort, or I admire the person.
Okay.
And it's worth sort of displaying.
I wish I admired the effort of people more. I'm not really. I have a tough time admiring the effort.
Could it be that maybe some of these books are written by your peers and you enjoy that they did a bad job and you like to sort of in a taxidermied skull on the shelf to remind yourself
You're still number one. That's
shit
what you
it
keep
on
telling
them.
yourself.
Shit it on them.
Wow.
I mean, that's an experimental idea I just came up with right now. Not accusing you of that.
Well, no, I mean, I think my peers have done incredible work over the last.
For the most part, we got some stinkers in the bunch, though.
We always got stinkers. I hate my peers, and I think they all suck. If you ask me, no, I think that Jason and I, or at least I, almost always, if I'm traveling with 2 or 3 books and I finish one, I leave it wherever I finish it for the next person.
Wow!
So in the back seat, in the seat back in front of me on the plane,
so
in the
hot,
hotel,
it's so romantic.
That's so nice.
on top of a trash can, but not in the trash can, so you can still grab it. I find that there's just some stuff I don't need to keep. Even if I loved it, I don't need to
because, like you said, you're never gonna watch a movie twice. You're never gonna reread a book.
Yeah, I've never.
So pass it on.
Yeah.
Give Marie Kondo that hoe.
I've only thrown away 2 books, and it's because one was written by a guy I dated who got really upset with him, so I threw away his book.
That's nice. Was it inscribed? Was it inscribed to you, or was it just a regular
No, it was just
reader's advanced copy?
Yeah.
What's the title on that one? I'm just gonna just check it out on Goodreads.
I'm gonna hit bookshop.org right now and
Don't
take
tell
a
me
shot.
his name. Just don't tell me the name. Just the name of the book, the publisher, and the year of release.
Okay, so you threw a book away out of spite from an ex-boyfriend. What else? What's number 2?
Number 2, it was also someone I dated. It wasn't a book he wrote, but it was his favorite book.
Damn.
So you threw away the book of your ex. You threw away his copy of On the Road because it meant so. That's brave. That's
Get
brave.
this infinite jest out of here.
I was checking at the airport. My suitcase was too heavy. So I was like, oh, maybe this hardback book is weighing it down and I don't want it anyway. So I threw it in the
How
airport
good did that
trash can.
feel? How good does that
Felt
feel?
so good.
Okay, so this is why. Okay, I'm glad that you believe that it feels so good. So I want you get in the habit. As soon as you finish a book, throw that bitch away. Don't donate it. It's rare that we enjoy a book enough to make it to the end. Most books are bad. You know what I mean? Most movies are bad. Most albums are bad. It is what it is. So when I hit the end of a book, I say, "Wow, I'm proud of myself. I read the shit out of this book." I often read it in the sauna, so the pages have been a bit warped and destroyed.
Jason's book it looks like they've been through the war when he finishes that. I leave a pristine,
Which is the way it should be.
I
It
leave
should
a
have
pristine,
blood, sweat, and tears on it.
slightly dog-eared, but not. It looks like it has life left in it.
You got an OCD ass book left for somebody else. I want mine to, like you said, I want it to look like somebody pulled it from the rubble of an explosion, and then the ceremonial throwing it away feels so good.
Into the recycle bin.
Oh yeah, of course. We
Yeah,
got to recycle. I mean, I can't let another human enjoy this literature at all, but I
Yeah.
would like it to be recycled and turned into more books.
I have a hope that by leaving a book that I finished in plain view in good condition, that another curious human will pick that up.
like,
and
I've been wanting to read A Little Life. Wow,
Yeah,
it's so pristine.
I love Gwyneth Paltrow. This looks amazing.
Yeah, I've done that before where I was at a hotel and I left it. It was with Patrick Radden Keefe's book. Say Nothing.
Say nothing.
Say Nothing.
Say Nothing.
I close it up. Wow, so good. Put it on I was at the Nobu Hotel in Cabo. Put it on the little table or whatever.
Nobody's reading at the Nobu in Cabo.
Yeah, I was
You're the
like,
last. You're the last man
readers
standing.
there.
There was a lot of people in the entertainment industry there. You never
Like,
know.
why does this guy have 3 names? I ain't reading this shit.
Somebody staying there was going to option it into a Hulu series. I'm not taking credit for the whole thing, but I played a small part in it. But all that is to say, I going up to the hotel room, and there's a guy at the hotel sprinting after me. Wait. It's one of the. I was like in a Jim Carrey movie. You throw something away, it's sitting on your desk the next morning. I can't shake it.
That's annoying.
So just be careful where you leave the book, Chris, is all I'm saying.
Fair.
Do not do it at the Nobu Hotel in Cabo.
Don't. I hope to never go there. Alexis, do you think that? What is your thought on the Kindle? Because the Kindle for real readers, not real eaters, real readers. It feels like
You said Kindle. It sounded like you said Kendall, like the Jenner. I just want to be
no.
clear.
Yeah,
Well,
like
usually
Jenna?
when I say Kendall, it is talking about my good friend
Yeah.
Kenny. But no, I'm saying
Your
that
southern accent was coming out. The Amazon Kindle reader.
the Amazon Kindle, the Amazon Kindle is a.
He got the big top. He got the big font on that thing too, doesn't he?
That shit. I got my magnifying glass out of the pool. Start a fire.
Got 17 words a page on that house. Sorry, carry on.
But the Amazon Kindle is something that is not sexy and not cool, but man, does it work. And it's very cheap. It's very light. And I just wanted to know how you feel about it. This is not sponsored. I didn't go to the Bezos wedding. I'm straight up wondering what you think about it.
If you do want a Kindle, just send us a message and we'll get one over to the house. Go ahead.
Okay, great. I mean, I used to like it, but I'm not crazy about it anymore. I need to be able to turn a page, dog ear
Sure.
a page.
I agree with you. I just know people that they read so much, especially if they're out of town, that it's like this is the only way that makes physical
Sure.
sense. And
But if I only read at the beach, I need paper,
no, but I think
Yeah.
it's if you commute, I get it. It's one of the best devices that we have that seems very underutilized because it's so different than the product that it's meant to replace.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like if you lose it, it's $100. You just buy
Totally.
another one. It doesn't matter.
Totally.
It's not like an iPad that costs $1,200. It's like a cheap, easy thing. But it's just I feel like it was embraced heavily when it was released, and now I rarely see them in the wild.
I think our parents really use them, right?
Yeah,
Like-
but so does that mean? I mean, we people are always talking about how the attention deficit that our young people are facing, they're not able to read a book, let alone, a 1,000-word article on the New Yorker. They can't do that. So what are some reasons or things or ways you believe we can get young people just straight up reading a book nowadays with all the distractions in the world?
God. I mean, I think we have to like make it sort of sexy to have dumb phones or to like lock away your phones or electronic devices for periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like even me.
I only fuck guys who brick their phone type shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. What is your method to being bricked up as far as content goes?
Yeah. Okay. Well, so have you guys heard of the Pomodoro Method?
Yeah, I have it on my my Chrome desktop bar. I have a Pomodoro.
Can you explain it? Let's explain it though. Please explain it in layman's terms.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, I didn't realize I was doing this, but I would, when I write or when I read, I'll focus on it for like anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour, and then I give myself a gift.
A little matcha latte or something, a little banana muffin.
A collection of wheat thins and hummus. Let's go.
Or maybe a little Bravo for like 20 minutes, and then I'll go back.
That seems too jarring.
Jason, she's on another level than us, bro. She's operating on a higher plane. Like
she wrote a book, I didn't, so I shan't talk.
No, but honestly, that is a whiplash causing maneuver on your part, head on swivel.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna take my short Pomodoro break. I'm gonna eat a few pieces of expensive cheddar cheese and do the dishes, and you're like, only on Bravo. And I feel like when those 5 minutes are over and it's time to go back to your prose, I'm going to be like, oh.
Yeah, going from Real Housewives of New York to segregation is a pretty big, it's a pretty big valley there. You know what I mean?
Anyways, back to the Jim Crow South after seeing Dorit throw a Cosmo at someone's face.
You're able to really compartmentalize. It's cool. It's impressive. So you're saying you do the Pomodoro method, but you did it by accident.
Yes, and it keeps the energy high. I'm watching a fight between the girlies on Real Housewives. I'm still energized as I'm going back to writing about
you an author who can do both.
Southern history.
It's funny you say that because most people we know who are proficient writers, the Nomi Fries of the world or whatever, I think they unintentionally or subconsciously do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They really watch that Bravo. Maybe it's, they say you have to write about your life and you have to live a life in order to be able to write. We could also just watch some crazy bitch's life.
Exactly.
And we get there. We get the job done, right?
I do want to understand what the through line is for people like you who are productive, upstanding members of society, smart, successful, but the need to watch fucking losers fight is so great. And I'm not successful and have no accolades, but I love that shit too, so I can relate in that way. But I think the study needs to be done.
Because I think when Chris, I think it's an issue of like how pure are your intentions for watching this? Like, is it pure entertainment and joy that I am getting from this, or is there something even subconscious or not where you're like, I'm gonna compare my life to these people, and if I believe that I'm better than them, then at least I can go on another day.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm laughing with them.
Okay.
As opposed to at them.
The problem is, and Alexis, some of you agree with me, they used to be rich.
Yeah.
Now it doesn't feel like they're that rich. So at least at one point, I'm like, these people act crazy, but they're aspirationally wealthy at least.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got there. I'm not.
There's only so many people, Chris. It's like booking Coachella.
Yeah.
There's only so many headliners. After a while,
right.
we got to start getting our role models in there.
No, hey, don't do that. Not to my man. But yeah, I think that I understand that the landscape has changed, but the entertainment product is still valuable and good. And that's fine.
Sure, but as you said, less good, right? Because it hits different when you're watching a housewife in like a studio apartment as opposed to the mansions of yore.
Yeah, I prefer a mansion of yore. That's for fucking sure.
So yeah, we're all agreeing we prefer the Gilded Age of the Real Housewives.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you
Absolutely.
Do you brick up your phone though for real talk?
I mean, unofficial like airplane mode. Or do not disturb, let's say.
Do you put it, but is it sitting next to your MacBook Air, or do you have to put it under a pillow on the dog bed in the other room?
No dog
It's
bed,
in the crawl space.
but on the couch. Yeah, like under a pillow on
I
the
knew you
couch.
didn't have a dog. You're cool. That is okay. So you have to physically you put it on airplane mode, obviously, so the alerts aren't coming through. But you also have to physically
Yes,
remove it from your work area.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not enough to just turn it over.
How long did
Exactly.
it take you to realize? Like, how long did it take you to get there? Were you trying other band-aids and you realize like the full on is the only way I'm going to be able to do it?
Absolutely. Yeah, because there are all these apps where it's like, oh, it'll block it for a time, or those apps. They
Hmm.
don't work.
Easy to work around.
I've
Exactly.
never tried one, so I don't know. But I've got ads for them because they know I have a
Chris
problem.
is too afraid to stare that void into the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So but the physical removal feels like, I mean, at a certain point, I'm like, do I have to throw this shit in the woods? You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So what are you doing?
Oh, I ain't doing shit. I mean, I cannot use my phone.
He's waiting to hear back if he can get a extension on his deadline. Is what he's doing.
Yeah. No, I've already asked. Don't
I
worry,
mean,
I've already asked.
listen. I mean, listen. We all did.
Okay.
It's a rite of
I
passage.
just think that, and maybe this isn't true for you, and this is probably, this is a very dividing line, but I think it's like, if you're not going to pay me enough money to not work, to maintain my lifestyle, then it's very difficult for me to put my phone under the dog bed and not respond to emails from people that are saying, we want to pay you so you can continue to live the lifestyle that you've created for yourself. It's a very,
Fair.
it's a difficult,
Fair.
and that's the thing. I think that like it's going to take longer and be harder.
Money calling.
Because you can't. Yeah, I mean, what are you supposed to do? And I think this is true for
Fair.
a lot of people. And I'm not. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'll be fine. Like, I'll figure it out. It's not that big of a deal. And I think I'm getting better
Yeah.
every day. But it is like a weird.
Writing a book is an elective process, and you knew what you got signing up.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah, it's like, yeah, and it's also like, I think it is just everybody has to figure out how to do it in their own way. Is probably what
Exactly.
I have
Exactly.
been
And Chris
told.
Chris is gonna sequester himself in North Florida for a month and just get it done.
I mean, I'm actually, I've come to terms with the fact that I have to do that, and now I'm excited to do it. At first, I felt like I was really forcing myself, and now that I've started like doing all these interviews and like actually thinking about it more, I'm like, this is the only way and the best way.
Yeah.
For you.
And always
You got a Pomodoro your whole life.
Yeah.
Do you go out to eat and shit though? Like you're like have a normal social life when you're in the process. You're not like a lunatic.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go out to eat, of course.
Well, I didn't know. I mean, we talked to some
When
people.
I do my writing, it's just me and a large pot of broth that I just perpetually drink throughout the days and weeks until it's done.
I don't need food. He's just got broth and Zen, and he's able to just power through the two food groups. Really, the two food groups. Do you smoke cigs?
Only when I'm, on certain occasions.
Okay, so you're not stepping out every hour to blow one down.
No.
If you could
Okay.
keep a cig away when you're on Molly, Chris,
Yeah.
I gotta hand it to you
that's
because that is one of life's most difficult. It'd be nice to brick that up, wouldn't
God
it?
hands his hardest raves to his bravest soldiers.
Alexis, you said something earlier when you were describing the sort of ingredients of Alabama, and something caught my ear.
Yeah.
You mentioned the sect of Native Americans
Mhm.
who were there originally, had their land taken away from them. Now, you said that they're billionaires with the casinos, and when you said the word billionaires, I feel like it had a little sting to it. Do you feel as if other people may deserve some reparations of that sort?
Yeah, I mean, that's,
Maybe not on the level of a B, but maybe an M at least.
yeah, I think so. But you know what? I can't fault them for it because they've had everything taken away. It's still not easy for them to be in Alabama. And they're like, we're going to, get what's ours in the most traditional
Yeah.
way possible, which is casino. I mean, what's better than, a casino to make that money?
Prostitution is I mean, it's prostitution then gambling are the first two kind of sources of income.
How much time did you spend in these casinos during your quote unquote research?
Did you take in a show? SWV performing on Thursday.
Speaking of having a balanced life while writing, it's important. It's important to be out among the people living life.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to lose the house in Alabama while I'm working on a book. That sounds really fun. That sounds super cool. So as a homeowner, where are you at with your furnishings?
Yeah, let us know about the blessings and disasters of home ownership, Alexis.
I I mean, I'm in New York, so they're more disasters probably than less.
Did we renovate? Did we renovate?
No, we're just doing like a few touch-ups here. I mean, I'm in a co-op, so you know that's a struggle.
When you say we, who
yeah.
are your roommates?
No, I mean, I and my contractor, I suppose.
Your team. You and your team
Okay.
are retiling something.
I wasn't sure if you were partnered. That's all.
Yeah, no, me and my contractor just doing a few like touch-ups, you know, nothing too major. Because actually, the guy who used to own the place was an architect from Alabama, and he had it quite nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
Do you think that's a reason why you got this place?
No, I think I was just the first person to make an offer, but I think
Okay, you didn't have to write him a letter.
No, I just paid. I kind of went the traditional route. I just made an offer. So wait, and not to dox you, but what neighborhood? I'm really hoping you say Manhattan, but I'm worried that you're not going to.
Yeah, the East Village.
Oh wow, this is great news. Are you lying? You look like you're lying. You're fucking
Shitted
lying.
on him.
No, I'm laughing because my first choice was Brooklyn.
First choice. What's wrong with you?
Well, Brooklyn, you get more space. It's like, you know, it's where a lot of hot spots
No, of
are.
course.
Yeah.
But did you live in Brooklyn before?
I
or
did. I lived in Clinton Hill for like 5 years.
Wow, this is a very rare reverse bridge cross.
Somebody taking the step down to Manhattan
You know,
from their Brooklyn high horse.
I got priced out from Brooklyn.
Times are changing.
Got priced out.
I tell people this all the time.
Damn.
You can live in Clinton Hill or you can live in Boston. It's still cheaper to live in New York City.
Damn, bro.
Like, it's crazy. It makes no sense. Well, I'm proud of you for being a homeowner. That's a big step.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Very impressive.
You know, we all got to start somewhere.
Okay, well, thank you for taking the time to chat with
Thank
us,
you.
Alexis. The book is out now or soon?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blessings and disasters.
She doesn't even mind if you buy it on Amazon. It's as long as you buy it. It's not really. We're not going to
Just order.
Yeah, just order it.
And do you read the audiobook?
I read part of it. I read the beginning.
Okay.
It's a little preview.
Couldn't be arsed to finish it up. Okay. Cool.
Work.
She's like, I have jobs to do. Reading.
I did the dedication.
All right. Thank you, Alexis. It was a pleasure. And you guys go get the book, and hopefully we see you soon.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Later.
Bye.